These are the most heartbreaking moments in NBA history.
All-time leading scorer, LeBron James.
When are we gonna do something?
You sacrificed for us. You the real MVP.
Number 1. John Wall met a 6-year-old girl named Maya Nelson, who had cancer. They became close friends, but on December 8th, 2014, Maya lost her battle with cancer.
I'm trying to maintain it because I know she's living within me in spirit, but it's hard. It's hard waking up not having her here with me.
John Wall was crushed. He wrote Maya's name on his shoes that night for his game against the Celtics. After scoring 26 points and getting 17 assists to beat the Celtics, John Wall said this in his post-game interview.
It's just tough, man. You know what I mean? To see a little kid that fights so hard for cancer and can't beat it. It's a tough day for me.
She really touched your heart, didn't she?
Obviously, Maya meant a lot to John Wall. But in number 2, things start to get really emotional, as one decision made the entire NBA community furious.
Do you have any doubts about your decision?
No, I don't have any doubts at all.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
It's terrible. This is the worst thing that could ever happen to Cleveland.
He kept us in the dark all the way up to the end.
He's a loser. He's not a winner.
Angry like we've never seen before.
I hope he never wins anything in Miami.
I'm a big LeBron fan, and this is the worst thing that could have ever happened to me.
And he goes to Miami, where the most fickle fans are? This is terrible. This is the worst thing.
Players were angry at LeBron. Fans were angry at LeBron. He betrayed Cleveland. And by joining a super team, it felt like he betrayed the entire NBA. Number 3, get your tissues ready. Because we've never seen J.R. Smith this emotional.
Monis Khan, ESPN. J.R. Smith, today is Father's Day. I remember listening to an interview with you talking about working at your father's construction job and knowing that that's not what you want to do with your life. Can you just talk about the role that he's played in your life and what it means to you to be able to share this moment with him?
I mean, my parents, my family, that's the biggest inspiration of my life. I've been in a lot of dark spots in my life, and they always stuck by my side, no matter right or wrong. And I know a lot of people don't have their parents in their life, their mother or their father, but to hear people talk bad about me, it hurts me because I know it hurts him. And that's not who I am. And I know he raised better, and I know I want to do better, and just everything I do is for my parents and my family. I mean, I don't really, the cars is nice, the houses is nice, but none of this matters without them.
Dads can mean everything to us, and clearly, JR's dad meant everything to him. But neither does winning basketball's most prestigious award. See, life was never easy for Kevin Durant. He grew up in a small county outside of Washington, D.C., and never thought once about making the NBA. His mom had to work all day and night just to put food on the table, so playing in the NBA, let alone college, always felt like a long shot. But through it all, there was one person who always told him to chase his dreams: Mom. So when KD won MVP in the 2013-2014 season, it wasn't because he led OKC to 54 wins. It also wasn't the fact that he averaged 32 points on 64% true shooting. It was because of the one person that believed in him all along.
And when something good happens to you, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to look back to what brought me here. And you wake me up in the middle of the night in the summer times, making me run up a hill, making me do push-ups, screaming at me from the sideline of my games at 8 or 9 years old. We wasn't supposed to be here. You made us believe. You kept us off the street, put clothes on our backs, food on the table. When you didn't eat, you made sure we ate. You went to sleep hungry. You sacrificed for us. You the real MVP.
What a moment between a son and his mom. But Karl-Anthony Towns' most heartbreaking moment came when the closest person to him died. When Co was taking over the world, Karl's mom got sick, and things went downhill fast.
You know, COVID was so early on in everyone's mind, and it kind of was played down by everybody. We knew what it was, and we knew that with her, you have to take the extra precaution. But she wasn't. She was like everyone else, they just didn't know. The story is really sad, but we took her to, funny enough, the hospital I was born at JFK Hospital in Edison, New Jersey. It just got to a point that, you know, they were like, you know, you gotta start thinking about some things. And I was just like, no, she's not done. She's a fighter. She knows she's gonna fight to the end. So I flew out from Minnesota to New Jersey, and I went to see her. And I've seen her in different states in my life, but she was speaking to me without saying a word, and I felt like she was like, I'm good, I got a lot of energy left, we're good, like we're
because
good.
She was in a coma.
Yeah, and she was transferred to University of Penn. She started getting the medication she needed and everything. And it was my dad, but my dad called me solely. And I said, what's wrong? I said, what's wrong? And he was just like, she's gone. She had a stroke during the night, and I made the hardest decision you can make. I called my sister, told her what the decision I made was. I think the worst call, the most difficult one was, it was calling her mom. It was calling my grandmother, so telling her, you lost your daughter. I've done everything as a grandson could do to protect her. I gotta let her go.
And obviously, with Karl and his mom always being so close, this was something Karl was just never going to get over. But Isaiah Thomas's NBA career was ended because of a heartbreaking $200 million scandal. It's hard to believe that this man, who was on top of the world and the greatest short king of the NBA, could have had everything turn on him. Dude was, 5'9", being compared to legends, and carried Boston to the best record in the entire league because of his clutch plays like these. Isaiah was right up there with the best players in the league and felt he deserved a huge bag in the upcoming offseason. Rumors spread that Isaiah was eligible for a supermax contract worth $200 million, and he got cocky because he felt he deserved every penny.
Max guy, so I deserve the max. I mean, my time's coming. They know they got to bring the Brinks truck out. They know that.
But right after saying that, while playing in the NBA playoffs, Isaiah's hip gave out, and he was forced into the hospital. All because of that injury, the Celtics refused to invest millions of dollars into a player who might never recover. And even though Isaiah was the face of their team, they just completely gave up on him in a second. Despite everything Isaiah did for them, it was over. And once he got traded to the Cavs, it seemed like the beginning of the end, when he wasn't able to make the same impact he once could, kept getting injured, and got traded, released over and over again. Isaiah stayed persistent, but deep down, he was hurting inside and knew his NBA days were coming to an end, so he had to go viral one final time before accepting the truth.
Gave up on me. They gave up on me.
Most iconic games in history, and still no teams to this day want Isaiah, making it one of the weirdest mysteries and saddest things to happen to an NBA star that I've ever heard. But the most emotional thing Isaiah's ever gone through has to be the time he was in tears when a deadly car accident killed his sister. Before the biggest game of his career, there's even another NBA player who was burned alive. I don't even want to tell you what else is in this video, because I'm going to start tearing up. So grab your tissues. This video is emotional. I'll just see you over there.